fight fans? This is Jason BURGOS for Sherdog.com, and this is another edition in my ongoing Corona Chronicles series. For this one, I will speak with a fighter who shared the unfortunate situation of many other fighters and had his scheduled bout indefinitely postponed as states throughout the U.S. instituted strategies to curb the outbreak of the coronavirus. Even worse, it was in the main event slot of LFA 84, and it was for the promotion's middleweight title. Like, come on now. I mean, that man is Daniel Demigod Madrid. Mr. Demigod, sir, thank you for the time to talk, the unfortunate event of LFA 84 and what's going on with your life right now.
Oh, man, first off, thank you for having me on your show. I'm a vivid fan of watching your show. So, again, thank you for that. Dude, it's funny because, man, I was just talking to my wife about this, and I feel like we're living a horror movie. And the one that I can honestly reference it to is Contagion. That was back in like 2011 with Lawrence Fishburne, you know. But it's insane, man.
Yeah.
Like I can't. It's hard to wrap your brain around it. You know what I mean? So we're just one day at a time, man. That's all it is.
So walk me through that last week leading up to March 20th. You were set for the main event, LFA 84, middleweight title fight like I mentioned. Headliners are surely to be kept in the loop more so than maybe most fighters on a given card. Did it seem possible near fight night that things might still happen? Or as the days got closer to the event, was the writing kind of on the wall and it seemed like it was not going to happen no matter what?
Well, this is how it played out for us. About 2 weeks before the fight, we started hearing rumors that, a lot of fights were getting canceled. And, there was a good possibility that ours could get canceled as well. And so I reached out to my management. I had been talking with Mark from LFA, and he was like, nope, everything's good. Like, we're on track. So I was like, okay, cool. And then come Friday, like I have a couple of buddies who work for the city of Phoenix, and they were saying that they were shutting down all sporting events, all venues and everything in the city. And so I reached out again, and I was like, hey, man, I was like, are we good to go? Like, I'm getting ready to start this water cut, and I don't want to have to do this if I don't have to.
Yes.
And they were like, no, we're good. And I was like, all right. So Saturday, you start prepping for it. Like I had just gone on a jog that morning. I switched over to my distilled water. And I mean, I was on point, man. Honestly, this is the best camp I've had, minus a few little nagging injuries, but my weight was like, this is the lowest it's been for any kind of fight.
Wow.
Which was about 196. So, I mean, I was on point with everything. And then later that evening is when we got the email from Mark about the fight being postponed. And dude, it's gut wrenching, man. Cause it's not, like my first fight for LFA, I was supposed to fight Matthew Franco, and I had broken my hand the week before the fight, and that one hurt, but there wasn't like anything I could do about it. This one's just like, because there's nothing that attributed to it that came from me personally is what makes it even harder, so like, it's just like, what do you do now? Like, you just spent the last 10 weeks kicking the shit out of yourself. And now we're just like left with nothing.
How big of a hit financially is it to lose out, not just on a payday, but I mean a main event slot? Because I'm not sure if guys in the main event for LFA make a bit more on some level contractually, or maybe just a championship and getting a championship and being a champion means more per fight on a per fight basis. And I'm sure a main event slot on UFC Fight Pass has to help on some levels with maybe sponsors a little bit more than say a lower part of the card. You're 35, you've been in the sport 14 years, so you understand it. It can't last forever, and paydays for you at this point, you got to get them in, while you can, especially in such a high level fight. How much of a setback is that for you to not get that payday?
So I'll be honest. I'm fortunate in the sense that my wife has a very, very good job.
Okay.
So it's nothing like fighting for us. Like, we don't depend on it.
Okay.
Right. Eventually, like, once we get to that bigger platform, we would like to, but for the time being, like, we're fine. Like, it sucks because like we were planning on using that money for like a family trip, pay off a little bit of debt.
Yeah.
But I'm also fortunate in the sense that, the sponsors that I have, they completely understand the situation. They know that the funds that they attributed to this fight camp is just going to roll over to the next one. So they're not losing out on anything. And I made sure to, to reaffirm that with them that, like we're all family in this case. Like as soon as you're backing me, like we're instantly, I'm there for you as well. So, I mean, I, so like I said, for me, it's not that bad, but I understand other fighters, especially young and up and coming fighters who this is all they do. Like, and it's tough, man. Like I can't imagine it. And I'm glad I'm not put in that position where I have to depend on this.
Do you have like a lot of fighters I've talked to, even sometimes on the UFC level, they'll have jobs on the side just to be that financial net in case fights do fall through or you get injured and stuff like that. And you mentioned your wife does pretty well. Do you when you're not fighting, do you have a job on the side that keeps you guys also comfortable?
Yeah, so I work part time at a local credit union here.
Okay.
It's like 2.5 days a week, and then I work full time at my gym.
Okay.
So, um, I mean, and as you know, right now gyms are all shut
Yes.
down throughout the
Yeah.
entire nation. Credit union's still going because it's one of those essential things that you need. Uh, but yeah, man. So it's it's just finding stuff to do with yourself. That's the main problem. So I'm used to going to the gym 6 days a week. My family, like everybody here, like we're all active jujitsu players. So it's now we're just kind of stuck in this like, what do we do with this extra time? So
Is it
and with 3 kids,
is it like I'm glad you mentioned the gym because yeah, gyms are closing all over the place. I talked to like Mark Montoya with Factory X and other people that do instructing on the site. Is that maybe more of a bigger concern than even losing on the fight if the gym doesn't open up and you don't get that kind of that money coming in all the time like you expect? Is that like more worrisome than even losing a fight?
no, I mean my number one concern right now is because I'm a partner in the ownership of our gym. It's just making sure that we're able to build back up after this whole pandemic is done.
Okay.
So we're actively staying engaged with all of our students, making sure that they understand like if it's me driving somewhere to go meet them, if if it calls for it, just to talk or whatever the case, to make sure that they know that we care, we're understanding, and that we're not just stealing money, right? Like this will all get paid back somehow. But like all of our students have been really really good about voicing their opinions to us and knowing that their contracts are going to get extended, going past this. So
Are you doing? Because I've talked to a couple of people, like I mentioned. Are you doing like online, to taking lessons and stuff like that online, and people are keeping in touch with the gym and keeping in shape and keeping with the programs by doing online, Instagram, TikTok, though those kind of things.
yeah, so right now we're doing just the Facebook, like the Facebook Live classes. I'm constantly posting videos of like partner drills, solo drills. Um, Striking, my other business partner is taking care of that right now with just stand up drills, stuff that people can do at home. My wife is our conditioning coach, so she's constantly posting like just basically like calisthenic workouts you can do at home. Just making sure that we want everybody to understand, like we understand like you're gonna go out and you're gonna eat probably not the same way that you're used to, but we don't want to see you coming back at like 400 plus pounds. And
That's the perfect question.
so,
Like, how do you maintain not losing their weight? I've seen many people talk about being home all the time now. They're just getting fatter because they're just eating food. They're bored. They don't know what to do. Like, how do you have a diet at home when you're just miserable?
bro, it's tough, man. Like I'll be honest. Like this past week, I've done nothing but eat like shit. Like Oreos and red vines, bro, have been my best friend through this whole dilemma so far. But I think honestly, I think if everyone can just find something that's keeping them busy around the house, right? Whether it's like house improvement, like for me, I love doing wood projects, so I've been constantly doing that. Like we're finishing up the renovation on our house. I've been busy with that with my wife, redoing our backyard. Just it's just staying active. That's the biggest thing you can do is just stay active but be safe at the same time.
Now, not to heap any more frustration on this fight, everyone knows and they're well aware of how reaching the top level of LFA, especially as a champion, often leads to opportunities in the UFC. Is this falling through, this fight not happening, that much more frustrating? Because, say, if you had like a possible 6-month plan for your 2020 that included getting that title, maybe defending or going right to the UFC, hopefully getting that UFC opportunity, is now kind of just short circuited? Is that another level? Not only not getting the fight, not getting the main event, the title fight, but short circuiting that opportunity to get yourself one step closer to the UFC.
Yeah, it's a legit question, man. And I'll tell you this, I think for anybody else, I could definitely see a level of frustration coming from that, where it kind of hinders your entire plans for this upcoming year. But for me, it's like you said earlier, I've been in this game for over 16 years. Like, patience has been a virtue for me. So, I mean, if I got to wait a little bit longer, so be it. Like, am I bummed out that I didn't get to fight for that title and bring it home where it rightfully belongs? Absolutely. But I know, like, everyone that's staffed in LFA, like, they're loyal to their word. They're already looking for time, like, whenever this pandemic like gets done with, whatnot. Like, they're already looking to set everything up, reschedule fights. So, like, I know my title fight will be there if I don't get a call before then. So it's patience. I'm good with it. I'll just stay training, doing what I've been doing for the last 16 years.
I'm glad you mentioned it, going back to being a part of the sport for a long time. I'm sure you've seen many things, especially coming up years ago when at least your pro career started. I saw around 2006, a very different time from right now. Like, is this by far the strangest, wildest, craziest kind of situation you've seen hit this industry, which seems to be very strong of late right now?
Dude, I think it's the craziest thing anyone from our generation has seen, right? Not even in regards to sports, but I mean just life, bro. And what's funny is like, I was thinking back in January when everything started to really hit the fan, right? Like, it didn't really hit Americans just then, because it was across seas, you know what I mean? But when it came into the States, that's when it started to become real. And then when it came into your own state, in your own city, that's when you're like, oh shit. Like, you're like, oh, okay, I got to pay attention to this now. But I mean, yeah, by far, like, dude, it's insane, bro. Like some of the things I've seen at the credit union, like people rolling up wearing like a face mask is one thing, bro. But I've seen like military grade masks coming through the drive-through with dishwashing gloves on. You're like, oh shit, man, what is going on? But yeah, dude, it's a trip, man.
What's the story in your neck of the woods in Arizona? For me here in New York, epicenter city. I mean, they just now I just saw a story from the New York Post, the Blasio thinks that they may close schools for the rest of the year, which is, for me with a kid, is troublesome. But I mean, what's it in Arizona? It doesn't seem too crazy, too much yet. As of March 23rd, when we're recording this right now. Like the biggest story aside from a couple hundred cases, which is legit, is I saw the story on a guy stealing like 29 COVID-19 testing kits in Arizona from a medical facility. That's like the crazy thing. But of course, I am not there. So has there been any mandates or state orders that have come down from the state and local level? That's changed you and your family's lives on a daily level right now.
So as of right now, nothing has been mandated by the state besides them closing down restaurants, like lobbies and stuff like that for non-essential businesses. We've heard rumors that the National Guard's planning on coming in and making it mandated to where we will only be able to go to and from work small amounts of time of exercising outside of the house, and then small amounts of time at like essential grocery shopping and stuff like that. But nothing's come to light yet. That's one of the craziest things that's happened so far, is that stealing of those 29 kits or whatever, besides the 2 unfortunate deaths that have come from COVID-19. Our numbers aren't as high as yours, obviously, and I'm thankful for that. I'm sorry for you. That's, like I said, that's crazy. But yeah, I think finally people here are starting to get the hint that, you have to stay inside. Like, this is not the time to be strong-headed or let your ego get in front of you. Like, the virus is going to happen. Numbers are going to spike. Like, we're not even close to seeing what the actual numbers are here yet. You know what I mean? So we all as individuals have to do our part and just keep our asses inside, man.
I mean, for a lot of people, everyone's staying inside, like you said. You gotta figure out what to do, not to go crazy, try to not hate each other after a certain amount of time. The governor of New York was talking about, it's an opportunity, to maybe do those things you haven't done in a while. Maybe that spend that time with the family maybe you've been missing out on. are there things that, you're going to catch up if it comes to quarantine time? Are there movies, TV shows, books, writing, artwork, something you and the family want to do, or you just yourself like, hey, I got the time, I might as well do it now?
I mean, right now we're my wife and I we're focused on the kids. Like she used to be a teacher back in the day, so she's already got lesson plans on what she wants to do with
Awesome.
them. So that's like a whole new learning experience for me. But we're also going to show them some life lessons. Like I'm going to introduce them to learning how to build stuff with, like wood and some other stuff around the house, just to be able to say like they can fix stuff, or just small stuff like you wouldn't think about doing on a day-to-day basis, and what you would consider a normal time. Right. So that's our main focus right now. The hardest part for my wife and I is keeping our 3-year-old entertained, because she is a juggernaut, bro. Like so much energy in that child. Like, and there's like, I feel bad for her, because I mean, we can go for a walk around the neighborhood, but like, I can't take her to the park. I can't let her play on that stuff. I can't, it's not warm. It's not too warm to where I can let her swim yet. So it's just like, it's like prison for her almost.
I talked with Cody Stamen last week, and he lost the fight on the UFC Columbus card, and he expects he could be thrust into a fight quickly if things get better sooner than later. However, his gym is closed, so he pondered making a makeshift gym at home. And you've talked about the whole family's a bunch of grapplers, and do you have a gym at home already set up so you can are you going to have to make a makeshift gym? What's some of the various probably training regimens you've done just to say in shape, stay sharp? You never know if LFA might call and say, hey, we can do this in May or something like that, early May. Like, what are you doing to keep in shape with the gym closed?
So I mean, for us, like we don't like to bring the gym home, because like we're there so much, so we don't have anything set up like that. So what I've been doing besides just like I said, just staying active in regards to all the stuff I do around the house, is just like I got to go to the gym just to grab some stuff, then I'll head out of there. But I'm gonna bring my boxing gloves, my jump rope, and then I'll bring some pads. So then that way my wife, or if I have a buddy that can come over, like we'll do some pads or something. But it's tough right now, man. There's not much we can really do. So, I mean, unless someone has like a built-in gym, but even then, like you can't invite people over. I mean, it's just like you're completely screwing up what we're supposed to be doing. So it's a really tough predicament that we're all in. And that's like, what do you do?
And I appreciate that you're one of the kind of people that are fully aware of and fully get it and stuff like that, because it's getting worse. Like I said, here in New York is getting worse. They might close the schools for the year because as more information comes up, we find out that it maybe isn't just the old that are affected and pre-existing. It seems that the younger can be affected because the virus can put pneumonia. You could develop pneumonia from it, which is very dangerous. Has that as a person with kids, a wife, even you in good shape, is it disappointing and kind of depressing anyway? Maybe you can't see friends, you can't see family right now because, one, you were thinking before, oh, if I got to see older relatives, something like that, I'm better safe than sorry to not hurt them. But now, maybe even kids, younger people, healthy people can get it. Is it add to like a depression and like a disappointment right now because you got to be fearful. You got to be aware with this kind of stuff.
Exactly. I don't like to look at it as I have to be fearful. It's exactly what you said, though, is you have to be aware of what's going on, and you have to be making smart decisions in regards to all this. I mean, we're lucky enough to be in a generation to where there's so much communication abilities that we can stay in touch with everybody. Like what you and I are doing right now. Like we're able to see each other. Granted, we're miles and miles away from one another, but like I can still talk with you. I can see you, and it makes me feel good knowing I can do that. And this will pass with time, but this is not going to be a short race. This is going to be an endurance, long distance running match. And I think people just need to understand that, and we'll be fine.